My big regret at the beginning of this year, one of them, of course, was the abduction of and killing of the 4 girls in Takrady. Fortunately, I think the police, at the end of the day, were able to do a good job in locating and identifying their remains. There's still some controversy with 1 or 2 of the families about it, but it's something that I'm hoping we can find closure to as soon as possible. It's a matter of great regret to me that we've had to deal with it. So these are some of the thoughts I wanted to share with you. I disagree with the 48% assessment. I think it's a much higher assessment in terms of campaign promises that have been delivered and are being delivered. The figure that we're working with is a figure of 72%, not 48%, in terms of the promises that have been delivered and those that are in the course of being delivered. So we have a fundamental disagreement on the figures. I believe that there's enough information that can be assembled to show that our figure, our assessment is the accurate one. The size of government, I heed the calls. It's come from some quarters. I'm not quite sure that it is necessarily the call of everybody. But I believe that the work that this government has done, the output, would have been difficult with a smaller number. The machinery of government in our country is such that if the political direction at the top is not strong, the delivery becomes an issue. And I still stand by the fact that the numbers were necessary for the work that we have done. And that when you look at the output, it would have been difficult to have obtained that output without the numbers.
Yeah, but also among many other related responses, the president had said that, well, up to about May, all arrears for national service, no, that will be the National Health Insurance Authority service providers had been paid. Now, this led to a number of concerns among those who hadn't been paid, who are service providers. And straight away, would also want to speak to one of the service providers with the Ayamfoya Memorial Clinic at Congo Nabdam District, Dr. Thomas Moore. And good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
And you operate your clinic, and that will be in the Upper East region?
Yes, please. Upper East region, Nabdam District.
Okay. Do you as service providers have an association of something of the sort for which you tend to consult?
Yes, we have the Private Healthcare Providers Association Upper East Region branch.
And how many of you make up that association or the service provider?
Yeah, we are about, those who have registered are about 23, but we are more than that because there are others who have not registered.
And what will be your response to the president's response that all of you countrywide have been paid your health insurance claims?
It's very surprising. Well, look, we in the Upper East region, I can tell you, my clinic, I have been paid 1 month this year. That is January. I have not been paid any other amount. We had a meeting last Saturday. That was 14th of December. Some of our members raised their hands and said that for the whole of 2019, they haven't even been paid 1 month. Some of them are still owed as far back as 2018. So to say that they have paid up to 1 month, it surprises everybody. And the problem we are now having is that because the president has said that all those who supply drugs, when you now go there to collect drugs, they say they can't supply you. Because look, even the president has said it. And if the president was not speaking the truth, why don't we react? You get confused. To react means that you will not pay them, you will not give service to someone who has health insurance. That's the only reaction you can do, which is not good. So for them to say that it's not true, I can Look, if you were after this one, we hang up, I can give you numbers of all the health facilities, private health facilities in the Upper East region. And you inquire from them how many men they have been paid this month. The highest someone have been paid, maybe one or two of them have been paid January and February. That is just all. But all of us is either January or none at all for this year. So I'm surprised.
What will be some of the difficulties you've been facing over the period then as a result of the liabilities that the Health Insurance Authority owes you?
As a private clinic, what they pay you is what you use to pay salaries of your workers. What they pay you is what you use to pay your drugs of your suppliers. What they pay you is what you use to pay the utilities. And it's a lot. You can measure a lot and so many other challenges that we are facing. If you were to tell a hospital like the Baga Regional Hospital that what they make from patients to be used to pay the salary of their workers and their doctors and their own utilities, no one can go there for treatment. If you think I'm telling that, just try it on a pilot basis. Take one of the district or regional hospitals and say, look, charge the patients enough to pay your salaries and your utilities and see where they can make it. They can't do it. And so we are just passing through very, very difficult times. Look, if I were to show you, I can show you suppliers, some of them, you don't even know why they even still give you paracetamol to go and sell the patients. Because you owe them so huge sums of money that you don't know how they are managing, how they see it. It's terrible. It's terrible. We haven't had it. And we know everybody, in Ghana, when the NPP we all got excited, we thought that, look, the change will come. And the change has refused to come. The West has rather come.
Okay. Now, what would that mean in terms of going forward, trying to appeal to the Health Insurance Authority to have these claims paid?
Well, the appeal is that, look, if they don't want our facility to collapse, if it's not their intention to collapse private health service, then they should pay us. If they pay anything less than 4 months, it's a disaster. Because if they pay 1 month, look, those who supply us, they will know that they have paid 1 month, and they will be on you. And 1 month cannot even pay one supplier, let alone salaries. Look, 2 months going, I have not paid salaries. I wrote to Ghana Revenue Authority, I wrote to Smith, explaining to them that I have not been paid for almost a year. And for that reason, I don't have enough money to honor my obligation as someone who are registered with them. And it is not just me alone. Most people have done like that. But if you don't do that, you can't survive. So it's just terrible. And if for instance, they pay anything less than 4,000, even they don't want us to collapse. And if you are having a business and government is deliberately trying to pull down your business, you fight back. To fight back means that you tell the patient, okay, now pay for those who can afford to pay so I can get the money there to go and buy more drugs for you to come for it. And the problem we are having in the rural area is that mine is in a rural area. It's a village called Congo in the Northern district, far away from any other health facility, far away from any other drugstore or whatnot. So if a patient, an old lady, an old man is carried to your place, I'm hoping that the health insurance will be able to cover his treatment. And you tell him that he should go out to Balga to buy paracetamol. He takes a lorry to Balga at a cost of 5 cedis, comes back at 5 cedis, and buys paracetamol of 2 cedis. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. So I think that it is just deliberate, and if they think that they have paid more, they should ask me, because that's my clinic, and they should ask all the private healthcare providers in Upper East region. I can mention them a lot. None of them have been paid more than 1 month. Those who have been paid of 2 months, I know of 2 facilities. They say they have had January and February. That is just all.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and we'll get more updates on this subject. Dr. Thomas Moore is a director for a clinic in the Upper East region, and they, alongside about 22 others, are worried about, because they are service providers for the National Health Insurance Authority, them not being paid since January. Some of them also have not received anything at all for 2019, and we know that is just part of the responses we're having following that interaction the president had with various media houses on Friday. Well, Maps?
Roland, still on the president's media encounter, something that has sparked a lot of outrage on social media, various parties and players in the industry, is the ambulance. What he said about the ambulances, that he can't release them now because he's waiting to get all of them so that he can distribute evenly. You know, he doesn't want to be criticized or called out for favoritism. And I mean, a lot of people don't really understand what the president is saying, because they're saying, okay, so you'd rather let the ambulances park in the sun to these weather conditions, and while some people are dying because they don't have ambulances in their place. So you'd rather, you know, be looked at as a nice person instead of a what's this thing called? Instead of saving people's lives, you want to be treated or named as fair. Do you understand? So hashtag release the ambulance now has been sort of kind of trending on Twitter, on social media. But we've been speaking to some people on the streets of Accra. Let's hear what they have to say.
To me, we have to share what is available, because already Ghanaians are in need of the ambulance. So we don't have to wait for what is coming before we share what is here already. So to me, we have to share what is available here before we think of what is coming.
I would have preferred that we shared, but because of the extreme polarization in our country, if we share, people will start playing politics and say, okay, you let this region out, you let this tribe out. So I think the whole thing should arrive, so that when we share once and for all, everybody gets their share, and then I think they are good to go.
Okay.
I think it's a bad idea. You know, people are currently suffering. You know, we have a lot of deficit when it comes to the ambulance service in Ghana here, and if there are some available now, should dispatch them so that people start to get to use them, so that at least for now, as we wait for the others to come, it can be in use and save other lives. So I don't think it's a good idea. I wish he would really think about it, and then we see something better in the country. Yeah.
The best now we have to do now is to share them, what we have now, than to wait till we have everything. We can never have everything before we share what we have. The little that we have, let's share it and save life.
Or we should go ahead and share it, because we need it, and we can't wait. And as to when the other ambulances are coming, we don't know. And the things, we have some of the ambulances available. Let's share it and use it. When the other one comes, then we distribute it. So we shouldn't wait at all.
It doesn't make sense at all, because we have hospitals who have no ambulances, and then we have ambulances sitting there. And then we have to wait until probably somewhere in January 7, where the president says he's coming to commission them before distributing it out. And I think that here, in this case, not really thinking about the plight of the people at all. So it's very bad. I think if you have the ambulances, they should go. At least we are saving lives. If you can't save everybody at the same time, he says he wanted to bring about this balance. And I don't think that whoever he saves, he has saved lives, so it is not necessary.
So that's what people had to say, and on social media they say, you know what, release the ambulance right now. A video that Jojo Kwabena, our own Jojo Kwabena, had done about, I mean, he was going to do a feature, he was driving, and he came across a lady, a pregnant lady, who was about to give birth on the back of a motorbike, and you know they had to give her a lift. I mean, these things are terrible. The roads are so bad. We don't have ambulances, so people on Twitter are calling on the president to hashtag release the ambulances now. It doesn't matter. Release it to the most vulnerable communities instead of waiting for all of the ambulances to procure all of the ambulances, Roland.
Yeah, definitely. But meanwhile, the president also had been responding to questions related to a recent survey, because we've had a number of survey reports that have been giving indications as to whether the president and his government, they've been fulfilling promises per what they told the electorate in the 2016 general elections.
So let's listen to the president, because he scored himself 72%, while Imani scored him about 48%. But let's listen to the president.
I disagree with the 48% assessment. I think it's a much higher assessment in terms of campaign promises that have been delivered and are being delivered. The figure that we're working with is a figure of 72%, not 48%, in terms of the promises that have been delivered and those that are in the course of being delivered. So we have a fundamental disagreement on the figures. I believe that there's enough information that can be assembled to show that our figure, our assessment is the accurate one. The size of government, I heed the calls. It's come from some quarters. I'm not quite sure that it is necessarily the call of everybody. But I believe that the work that this government has done, the output, would have been difficult with a smaller number. The machinery of government in our country is such that if the political direction at the top is not strong, the delivery becomes an issue. And I still stand by the fact that the numbers were necessary for the work that we have done. And that when you look at the output, it would have been difficult to have obtained that output without the numbers.
All right, so that's the president at the media encounter talking, giving himself 72%. A lot of people have been quite unsure about this, but I mean, everybody wants to score themselves, or if you were asked to score yourself on your presentation today, I'm sure you'd score yourself a big number, I'm sure. Yeah? No? Okay. But let's go to the phone lines. Open the phone lines on 0302-211-691, 0302-211-692. Tell us what you think about what the president said about the ambulances, that he won't be releasing them anytime soon until he gets them.
And the scoring too.
And the scoring too. 72%.
How would you score the president?
How would you score the president?
On a scale of 0 to 100%.
Yeah, so what would you give the president? Imani gave the president 48%, and he's giving himself a good 72%. And he thinks, no, he's done at least he's fulfilled most of his promises, his campaign promises, and he says next year, I mean, is an even bigger year, and he'll continue fulfilling his promises. And when he ended, funny thing, when he ended, he says 4 more for Nana, so meaning that he wants 4 more years to continue promising and fulfilling his promises. But the phone lines are open, 0302-211-691, 0302-211-692. Tell us what you have. But let's start with Mohammed in Tamile. Good morning, Mohammed. Do we have Mohammed on the line? Hello. Hi, Mohammed.
I was thinking that the president was going to give a reason on technical basis of staff and then other things. But saying that all of them are not yet in, is not reasonable. Give what it is there to people who need it. People are dying. Should we wait for them to die and then the rest will come? I think he wants to use it for a campaign campaign. So that's not the right one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. And in Bongo, we have Atanga. Good morning, Atanga.
Good morning.
Morning. So tell me, what are your thoughts on what the president said? Scoring himself 72%, the ambulances, amongst a lot of things. But what do you think about what the president said?
Well, concerning what the president rated himself, I would give him lower than that, because, look, you come to our villages and see the one village, one down. It's very, very bad. But it's just like a dugout. Animals been falling in, people, especially children. A lot of children have died in almost all the that has been dug. And look, initially I thought it was a very good initiative, but after they have finished doing it, it doesn't appear to be good or helpful to the community. So this, and look, you go to other areas where the rice farmers have been suffering, like combined harvesters and all those kind of things. So you bring a policy will end up giving a problem to the people, then you don't see the benefit.
So all these things rather bring down the essence of certain policies. So for me, I would have rated him, let me say, 30 or 27.
20 or 37?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's Atanga's scoring of the president.
That's even lower than Imani's.
That's even lower than Imani's. Wow. But let's hear what Prosper has to say in WA. Good morning, Prosper. We don't have Prosper? All right. Cool. Thank you. Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll bring more insights also just to do a recap for you on many of the respected comments that had been made. And well, we have some comments on WhatsApp. This is IB from Bimbila, and he says, I think the ambulance distribution should start right away. However, priority should be given to deprived facilities or district who don't have the ambulances, you say. And then subsequently, we also do have, okay, so this is Walanyo from Akwetia. We have Spiky saying that try to recollect. Okay.
All right, so let's see if we've got someone on the line. Michael, do we have Michael? Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so what would you score the president so far?
I'm so surprised that the president.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah, okay, so Michael, what I need you to do is that you turn off your TV set and then let's talk through the phone, yeah?
Hello?
Yeah, Michael. So turn off your TV set.
I am saying that the president is...
Michael? All right, we lost Michael Mohammed, our last caller from Yendi. Do we have our last caller? Because Becky's standing by for showbiz. Do we have our last caller, Mohammed, in Yendi? We also lost Mohammed in Yendi. All right, so those are our people. That's what people are thinking. 72% release the ambulances now. I'm sure the conversations will continue.
Yeah, also get social media brewing, so to speak. But we have to look at the latest in entertainment. And Becky is here with all the highlights on AM Showbiz.